All right, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you don't like the content, you're welcome to not like it and share it and, and watch these videos. It helps the algorithm and gets the message out to more people. So today I want to talk about limerence. And I talked to a lot of people, they've never heard of that word and how it relates to narcissism. So I'm going to read you on Google. It says limerence is considered a cognitive and emotional state of being emotionally attached to or even obsessed with another person, and is typically experienced involuntarily and characterized by a strong desire for reciprocation of one's feelings, a near obsessive form of romantic love. There's only like 10 to 30% of families are emotionally healthy. So the other 70 to 90% of us were raised in dysfunctional homes, whether they were narcissistic or not, I don't know. But anyway, as limerence pertains to narcissism, and I tell people if you were raised in a narcissistic dysfunctional home, you had your emotional needs neglected. The nurturing was not there. In fact, the opposite was there. You tried to a fault to emotionally nurture your parent or parents, depending on if there was one narcissist or two narcissists. If you had one narcissistic parent or two narcissistic parents. So in an emotionally healthy family, the parents supply the emotional nurturing to the child. So as this applies to limerence, what happens is, in my case, not getting my emotional needs met meant that when my first girlfriend came along at the age of 15, I was hopelessly and romantically in love with that person. And I thought she was the cure to my emotional needs. Since I'd never been in love before, it was, I think anybody that finds something that makes them feel better, they're just going to want more of it. So in this case, it was reciprocal in the beginning of the relationship. But I talked to one person one time, and she told me that if she has to go from relationship to relationship to experience the in-love experience, then that's what she's going to do. So as it pertains to narcissism, the experience of limerence can include obsessional thinking about the object of one's limerent desire, an irrationally positive evaluation of that person's attributes, and a longing for reciprocation. Limerence can make a person feel ecstatic and their mental life focused on a passionate, anxious desire. So one of my therapists one time told me that if you're in a relationship and you have feelings of going outside of that relationship to have your emotional needs met, then there's something wrong in that relationship, obviously. So being in a narcissistic abusive relationship, if you're in the devaluation stage and they minimize your feelings and your emotions, and then it's likely that you could be having limerent thoughts and feelings towards somebody who probably doesn't even know that you're in love with them. And limerence is partly caused by low self-esteem. A limerent person bases their self-esteem on the approval and acceptance and love of others. We may feel incomplete or empty if another person isn't there to love us, and this causes despair, loneliness, and sadness. So it's a really sick thing to be in a narcissistic relationship, and you find yourself fantasizing about somebody else, being with somebody else, and it's not your fault. It's the relationship that you're in, and you're trying to love this person. They're abusing you psychologically, narcissistically, and so it only makes sense that you're going to want to go outside the relationship and find your emotional needs elsewhere. Limerence is based on the trigger, behavior, reward system in the brain. Whenever I felt lonely, I'd begin scrolling social media for updates on my LO, which is limerent object, or sometimes even text them. The emotional reward was the happy hormone dopamine I'd feel from imagining a relationship together or anticipating a response. So, in my experience, these limerent relationships, they're one-sided, and there's a psychological reason why you are having these emotions or feelings. And so my advice is, if you're having limerence, if you're fantasizing about another person, my advice, what I did is I just blocked them. Along with the narcissistic person, I blocked them. I cut off all ties to them and their family, and I prefer staying off of social media. It's just a narcissistic playground, especially Facebook, Instagram, all those things. So I hope that helps. There's lots of material out there. Limerence was first, the term was first coined in the 1970s. So it's a pretty new topic, but there is an explanation for it. So if you're in a narcissistically abusive relationship and this content is helping you, you're getting something out of it, I'd like to offer one-on-one sessions with you. It's $25 for 30 minutes. And if you think I can help you, just contact me via email. I'll put the email down underneath the screen. And I hope you guys have a good day, and happy narc slaying.